Good afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch, your host, with my co-hosts Judy Loge and Veronique Arsenault, and it's the three of us for the first time in a little bit, I think. But we've all been well enough.
I know. I was so sick the last couple of weeks, and I know. I'm better now. We're all better now. I didn't want to share it last week. I started just after the show 2 weeks ago. I was feeling kind of, sniffly and everything, and then I thought I had the plague of misery. It was just awful.
The black plague.
Oh, it
She
was
looks wonderful today, though.
Yes, she does. Well, we have a great show lined up for you today.
Welcome
we have
back.
a couple of guests. Later on, we're going to be talking to Jennifer Aubey, who's the owner and operator of the Wedding Loft, and Amy Gregan, who is the owner of DNA Gregan Decorating.
Yes.
So that's
Interesting.
going to be a great show. So you're
Yeah.
not going to want to go anywhere. You want to check that out. And we're going to start off like we always do with our quote of the day. And
Your
I'm up.
quote?
I'm up.
Good.
I'm up.
Good.
I have been talking with friends a lot lately, New Year's resolutions and different things like that, and just this time of year is very stressful for a lot of people for a lot of reasons, and I just feel like I've been around a lot of people who are just feeling really down and not successful, and they're not, they're just just in a negative
In a
spot.
rut.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to be able to bring a quote that was empowering to women specifically, but because that's the people that I'm around the most.
And we don't care about the men anymore.
No, we can boost their ego any day. We can boost their ego any day. But the quote that I chose for today is from Socrates. So I'm going to go way back a little bit.
way back.
Yes.
Didn't you date him first?
Oh, my land. Okay, so what he is saying is the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new.
Couldn't be said better.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Like, let go of this,
Bygones.
the old, whatever happened. It doesn't define who you are right here, right now.
Move on.
concentrate on building the new and living for today and building
tough
that
future.
future.
And for tomorrow.
It is.
It's easy to get stuck in that kind of, that living it over and over and over and over in your head, and and trying to find the positive. I just and most of our viewers will know I just closed my business.
No, just
Right.
sad.
December 31st, and and all that comes with that. Even though it was the right business decision, it was still
Emotional
hard to let it
and
go.
financial and
That's just
everything.
it.
yeah, and you get stuck in that for a bit.
It
and
Of course you do. You built it up for
Yeah.
so long and worked so
Yeah.
hard. You just fall flat, and then you think you've done so much that you've got to rise above. You did so much for so many people, Veronique.
Yeah, and
She brought so much to our community for so many, 2.5 years?
Well, almost 3. Yeah,
Almost 3
it's
years
hard
that you have to
believe,
think of your success of it all.
Yeah, and it was a wonderful thing, and amazing people that I worked with, and I was really lucky. But it's easy to get stuck though.
It is. And just so many negative things that happen. And my friend said to me, I wish I could be more like you. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was stunned. And I listed off in the last 4 years what she has accomplished and still able to hold her head above water and what she's been through. I said, I don't know if I had been through all of that, that I'd still be holding my head up.
But see, she admires you.
I
You don't know what other people are thinking if they have no troubles or they're plagued with troubles.
That's right.
No,
They don't know that
exactly.
because you look good and you're so positive that you're hurting deep inside, and they don't know that.
No,
and we
exactly.
everyone thinks that I have a charmed life. I do. No, but they don't know that it's not all the time.
And that's you're right.
All of a sudden, Judy falls off her chair. Oops, I'm sorry,
Oh
honey.
my God, she's a klutz.
No, but it's true.
No,
Yes.
I'm joking, but I'm saying like they don't think anyone has any ever issues with certain things.
No, people think that having a man will make things better. Having,
Yeah.
don't go there.
It does.
Money, a job,
Well, Bill,
like,
you
you
can't-
know what I
money
mean? You
can't
can
buy
have all
happiness.
those
You have to
things
have
too
happiness.
and still be struggling
for
to be
sure.
happy.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
you know,
Money does
let
not
go.
buy love.
No, but you're right. You have to let
Unless
that
you're Charlie
stuff.
Sheen.
Well, really,
Yeah.
apparently,
No.
and some other things.
No, I
know.
But you have to let that stuff go, right?
Yeah.
And it's tough to let it go.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to that point now where I'm thinking positively about all the things that we were able to do over the 3 years. And
Don't sing Let It Go.
but you know what? And when I really sat down and looked at it, we served nearly 35,000 people.
Go on.
Nearly 35,000 people
Oh my
chose
God.
to spend time with us.
And you're still catering.
Yes, we are.
I think that's really.
But that's the part that I hold on to is that nearly
Yes,
35,000 people chose to spend time with us.
Yes, and you employ people and you put your whole heart and soul into it, so you will find your place.
Positive, positive, positive.
Positive.
There we go. Okay. What else happened on the Miramichi this weekend? There was a number of different things.
It's always a busy weekend.
It is. It really is. For a small
know.
little town, we have got a lot going on.
We do.
Yep.
For me, it was hockey, but
The hospital gala was
Yes,
held
yes.
at the Rod
Yeah, 18th
Hotel.
annual, I think.
Yes.
18
I
years.
know.
They had the hospital gala, and it was a huge success. Huge success. They had a full house. I did work it, of course,
You
again
do
this
work a
year.
lot.
And they did really, really well. Peggy McLean emceed this year, and the auctioneer. That's the fun part for me. I've never been to an auction. I've never participated in one, and they're quite exciting. And
He's
to
very
have
good.
Yes.
he is
Well, he's
really
professional, right?
Yes,
That is what he does for a living.
That's right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it's fun and it's exciting to see people bidding against each other and getting all caught up in that
For sure.
kind of
Too
thing.
caught up sometimes,
I
right?
know.
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
it's true.
no.
Yeah.
One
No,
year there was a husband and wife, if I'm not mistaken. They were bidding against each other, and it was down to those two.
Oh.
And then the auctioneer
funny.
realized, wait a minute, aren't you two together?
Yeah.
That's
And
real.
yeah.
That happens
I
sometimes,
didn't
you know.
go this year. It was one of those weekends where it was crazy busy,
Yeah,
so I
they
didn't
had
end up going this
they
year.
had a great turnout, and they also had another great turnout at the Riverside Entertainment, where
Yes.
the Rotary Club of Chatham
You
put
were
on
dancing
their
up
dance.
a storm there.
We did, and just to back up, like my husband and I, as people know, have been members in the past of the hospital foundation's causes. We've always
Yes.
attended the
Yep.
gala, and you know, you can only give just so much for so long, right?
That's
and
right.
It's time to move on.
Spread it around.
So we're
Yeah.
kind of that's what we've chosen to do rather. So we we've given probably donation of upwards. It's past $3 million now of our contribution to them.
Yeah.
So it's grown, and it's an astronomical fee because if you say
Well, it's hard to even say $3 million.
no, but if you
Yeah.
brought in, I'm just thinking that we feel personally that we've done our part. If you gave, say they made $25,000, just say they made $25,000 each gala. It would take 120 years of galas to make that much
To
money.
make
So,
that. Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
That's
so
just it.
we
And
supported the Rotary Dance this year
This
because
year.
we felt we wanted to support that this year. You can't support everything.
And you're a
No.
Rotarian.
And I'm a Rotarian,
Rotarian as
so
well.
I'm
Exactly.
so sore from dancing.
You danced up a storm.
No,
But
and
that was
they
fun.
did their fundraiser for the SPCA,
They did.
correct?
They did.
And they had a great turnout
Animals. Little
Yes.
animals.
there. No,
They had a great
That's
turnout.
just
There must
it.
have been upward of 300 people.
Well, Short Sweet Ride was the band, and they always pull a good crowd. I don't think it matters where they're playing.
so
They
the
do good.
city was out in full force
Yes,
this
there
weekend.
was. Yeah, definitely. The other thing that happened this weekend is I actually got to have date night, movie night with my husband.
I know.
Haven't, and I'm the big movie buff. I'm the one running to the movies all the
Always
time.
in the back
and
seat. If you ever pop in, she's always in the back seat with Billy.
no,
You
no,
are.
no, no, no. But it was a toss-up because we were arguing before we left, or not arguing, but discussing whether or not to go see Revenant because it did win the big award.
Yeah.
But it was going to be long, and we always go to the late movie. So then it was a toss-up between Daddy's Home and Sisters, and I was like, I really wanted it to be my choice this time. For sure. So we went to see Sisters, and I have to say, it was hilarious. I love those two.
Okay.
But saying that, I will say, because I've said this before, when it comes to movies, I'm not a big fan of the F-bomb that's overdone kind of thing.
Yeah.
And was the movie, as far as the party and all of that went on, over the top? Yes, it was. But that's not the part that made it funny for me. Anyway, to me, it was the female version of Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
In a sense, those two girls and my husband just at the beginning of the movie, because they look nothing alike. They look
Stop it.
nothing
I thought they
alike,
were
and I'm like,
sisters, which is-
yes.
no,
And I'm
see,
like, and
That's
then
funny.
to have the bloopers at the end of the
Oh,
movie.
yeah. That's always my favorite
I
part
think so, too.
is seeing bloopers.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, I would have paid $10 just to see
Yeah,
the last
I
2
love that
minutes.
stuff.
Or your name in the credits.
Or something.
Well, and
Something.
we'll just mention the Revenant
Yes.
is getting huge acclaim, but there is Mayor Bashir in it.
Yes,
That's
we
right.
did talk
Yeah.
about
That's
that.
right. I heard he was hard to see.
Well, but at least he's in it.
I
He's
know.
in it.
He's in it.
You'd have
Right.
you're
David
hard pressed to
Burchell.
pick him out,
Yeah.
but
David
he is
Burchell.
there.
Chef David.
Yes,
proud
I
to Mayor
know.
Bashir, part of that whole
That's-
big Oscar-nominated
Yeah.
Oscar. He won the Golden Globe, so
Yeah.
Yes.
Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Yeah. One Best Actor.
and
Yeah.
Best Movie too.
Yeah, I think so.
At the Golden Globes.
At the
Yeah.
Golden Globes. But
Yeah.
now we're coming around to the Oscars.
I know.
Oscars are coming up, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Buzz.
buzz over the
controversy.
Oscars. Very.
Controversy. It's
Yeah.
the second year in a row where there are no actors of color nominated.
It's not right.
Not even nominated.
No.
And there's so many.
And there were
movies.
so many movies.
None.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a couple of movies that they've really focused on. Concussion was one with Will Smith.
Oh, I heard
They
that
said
one
that
too.
really, the fact that he wasn't nominated in the movie wasn't
That was the
nominated.
football movie,
huge,
right?
Yeah, huge snub. And Straight Outta Compton,
Yes.
they said was another one that should have been nominated, and the actors
Yeah.
should have been nominated, but
Just
none
read
were.
about the concussion story. It's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
The
I read-
nominations are done by the board, right?
Yeah,
Of
it's the Academy,
Oscars?
and who knows how many of them there are, and it's not that. I'm not going to say that they actually went out and purposely didn't nominate any actors of color, because it could be that there's 100 of them, and if your top 10 are not those
Yeah.
movies, they're not.
But look at the
Yeah.
past. It didn't happen last year.
No, but
either.
yeah, there's 2 years in a row where
Yeah.
where there's no actors of color
If there
of
were
any.
so many outstanding ones,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be
No.
so blatantly
No,
obvious
that's
that there's
right.
an issue there. But I think there's an issue there.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
say
Just
that
might be.
Leo's going to win this year.
Yeah.
He's been 22 years. He's been not every year, but he's been
Aw.
nominated 6 times and never won.
Oh well, I'd like him to win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out on all
Yes.
of that. See
Yeah.
whether or not they boycott it or
Yeah.
what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll be watching the red carpet,
Yeah,
of course,
really.
hair and
Me
outfit.
too.
That's what I'm in. That's what I'll be in for. Something else that we want to mention this weekend. I do want to mention my grandmother turned 97 on
awesome.
Saturday.
She was at that dance, wasn't she?
Yeah, she would have loved. She has
I
a
saw
new
her.
hip. She has a new hip.
no,
She
no,
totally
no.
could have
She
been
could
there.
have been there,
She
probably.
could have been there, but I had asked a friend of mine to put the picture of her for her birthday in the paper of the 5 generations.
yeah.
And I'll have to say it was my grandmother and my father, and then my sister, her daughter, and her daughter.
It was beautiful.
So my sister, who's not from here, lives in Montreal, who's blonde and blue-eyed. I immediately, when the paper came out on Friday, I had texts going, I had to look twice. I
Loved it.
thought you went blonde.
Yeah.
And I'm
Right.
like,
Sweet
no,
looking
that's not
family.
me.
Lovely looking lady.
No,
and so proud of
that's
her
just
family
it.
generations.
Yeah,
It was very
exactly.
nice.
I
Very
come
good.
from good genes. I'm
Good.
I'm excited and exhausted thinking I could possibly have another 50 years
Oh, me too.
to put
Giddy up.
in.
Yep, I'll take them.
No, I know.
Here's some positive thinking, girls.
Yeah. And something else that you want to mention that's happening in the
Well,
Miramichi that we
yes.
want to let our viewers know.
I've actually been asked to mention this, and
Okay.
I'm proud to do that. They're having a biggest quitter challenge. Now, there's many various events happening, but this one particular, the sheet says, for 2 lungs to feel great, make your commitment, and they're calling it, I think of nicotine, I am. Wait, Weedless Wednesday?
Yes.
Weedless
I
Wednesday. So
laughed
the
when I
biggest
saw
quitter,
that.
the biggest quitter
Quitter
challenge
challenge.
has to do with quitting smoking, not losing
Yes.
weight,
It's
right?
been going on actually for a while, but
Okay.
on 20th of January, between, 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. at the Miramichi Kin Center, and that's at 100 Newcastle Boulevard. They're going to have people come there and try to get that quitting challenge conquered.
Yeah.
And for more information, there is a phone number. Let me see, 627 7565. 627-7565. There'll be healthy snacks, prizes, T-shirts.
And that's, what was the date of that? January?
That is, well, this particular Weedless Wednesday
Okay.
is this Wednesday, the January 20th.
Okay, January the 20th.
So people will come out, and they've
And
already
it's a
been-
free event.
It's free.
Yes.
Woo! What's
Totally
not
free.
what's free anymore? Okay, and for those who want to quit smoking, just so that they know, there is a support group ongoing at the Miramichi Regional Hospital. So you can go there if you really want to quit that smoking.
Yeah.
5th floor conference room, again, Miramichi Hospital. When? Every second Thursday of each month.
That's great.
February 11th,
Yeah.
right through to December 8th of 2016.
That's great.
It's
Yeah.
happening from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And again, for the same information, 627-7565. So, smoking
Yeah.
support quitting group that's amazing. February 11th right through to December
Well,
8th.
that's what you need. You need a support group
Yeah.
with,
Every
like,
second
that's
Thursday.
a,
I've heard-
I
I've
don't
heard
know
it
that
is
many people who
yeah.
smoke now, but
Yeah.
there's still a large number.
I've
I'm
heard that
afraid.
one of the toughest things to do is to quit smoking. I've never smoked. Luckily,
No.
I tried
I've
it a
never
few
picked
times,
it
but
up.
never
Yeah.
got hooked.
Yeah,
Same
good.
here.
But I from friends of mine who have quit, they say
I can't
how
imagine.
How?
difficult it is, like truly
Yeah.
mind-numbingly difficult. Yeah.
No, exactly.
There's just a few more little things. The girls and I we were each looking over what we thought was pertinent, because the biggest Critter Challenge event on January 20th, again from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Kin Center, involves sessions beginning at 10, which is a welcome and opening remarks with Dr. Ziggy Novak, cardiologist. Every 15, 20 minutes there's something else happening right until 7:30 until 8 that night. So Veronique and Audrey and I were picking out some that are, you know, really going to be
in case you want to
popular. We have personal success stories at 1. Just to pick out one there. We have an exercise class from 2 to 2:30. What is an addiction? 2:40 to 3:10. Ageless Grace with Trudy Walsh. Yep. And that's aging gracefully. 3:15 to 3:45. Personal success stories again, 5 to 5:15. Smoking and heart disease to back up at 4:20. Laughter yoga. I'd like to know that.
Laughter yoga sounds.
Yeah, actually,
7 o'clock.
I know a lovely lady that teaches that.
Do you?
Yeah,
On a regular basis?
Patsy Martin.
I'd love to go.
Yeah.
No, so definitely check it out. A lot going on,
Oh,
a lot of
free
information.
lung function tests, spirometry throughout the day.
Wow.
Refreshments are provided, so check that out at the Miramichi Regional Hospital.
Make this year
the year to do it. Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly, because you've got this whole support group backing you up.
So
That's
one more
fantastic.
time, in case I haven't covered most of it, 627-7565 for more details about any of these events.
Exactly. So make sure you check that out for sure. We want to mention Celine Dion had an awful double tragedy this past week. We all knew that her husband has been battling cancer for a long time. 18 years, I think, all along. Yeah, it was.
I think 97, 98 was when he first was diagnosed. And then it reoccurred about a year ago.
I feel terrible for the family.
He's, and he, cancer, it just seemed, last week was, there was David Bowie and
another gentleman that was 69.
Alan Rickman.
Yes.
He was phenomenal actor, Professor Snape, of course. And
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
69 years old, too.
Yeah, and then Renee
2 days later.
Yeah.
And then her brother, 59.
And he was terminally ill with cancer. I don't know exactly when he was diagnosed, but they knew that he didn't have long either.
One of 14 children. He was the
that's
8th of
just
14 children. How sad is
Huge
that?
family there.
There is, and she actually has been performing in Vegas, and of course now everything has been on hold. I don't know. I know.
February 23rd.
Yeah, well, you see a lot of things via the internet, of course, and she's going to quit. She'll never sing again, and
she's hurting.
And I'm like,
she said her husband that was her husband's happiest was when she was performing, and I think she said she wanted to continue that for him.
Did I tell you girls that when we went to see her a couple of times in Vegas, the last show he just sat a few rows ahead of us.
Oh, did he
so
really?
My memory, and I could get tears thinking about it, was when she sang The Power of Love, and she was looking right, she knew where he was sitting. She was looking right at him and singing her heart out, and he had you could just tell he was spellbound.
She met him when she was 12. I know. She's 12 because she's a year younger than I am, so she's 47 and he was 73. So there's, it wasn't until she actually got married a couple of years after I did. I was married in '88.
Yeah, there's nearly 20 years between them.
But what a couple they make. Age shouldn't matter when it's that much love, and she's mature. Let's face it, she's a worldly girl in the business. Knew how to bring herself up. Obviously, struggling in a family of 14 to make it a go.
And they had 3 beautiful children together, and he had children before that.
Yes, he's been married.
Oh, that's right too.
Yeah, he had boys.
I forgot about that.
But they're being buried a day apart. One on the 22nd, a state funeral for Renee Angelil is coming up Friday.
Okay, we're going to be right back with more Have a Chat. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch, and we've got a great show going on here for you today. I am joined with my co-hosts, Judy and Veronique, and now joining us is Jennifer Aubey, who is the owner and operator of the Wedding Loft.
Yes, hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thanks for joining us. We are so excited to hear everything about the Wedding Loft that you have going on.
Okay, so I am the very new owner, so only as of January 1st.
Oh.
So most people are probably going to know the Wedding Loft as Dress Right. So Peggy Aubey is my mom. She started this business 20 years ago this October.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah,
Really?
she's amazing.
She is amazing.
Yeah, and then of course in July of 2014 we changed the name to the Wedding Loft. So, and I've been kind of running it since 2014, but I'm the official owner, like, as of this month. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I knew you were going to be, so you did it.
Yeah, I did it. Thank you so much.
The Loft, is that because you have an upper area where
Yeah,
you do your...
so my mom actually came up with the name. She was always referring to our second floor bridal suite as the wedding loft.
Oh.
So that's kind of where that came
Lovely.
from.
neat.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And did you always work like with your mom?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with this business. Like, my mom started it when I was 5 years old in the hopes that someday I would want to take over. So, and of course, I never wanted to. Well, I saw how hard she was working. Yeah. But I mean, I was there every day after school. I used to, like, color code the dresses on the rack. I've been immersed in the industry my entire life. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you sew too?
I have
You
sewn.
can.
Yeah, I do sew. I don't like to.
No.
It's hard. And but I did spend a couple summers actually in school sewing as a seamstress for the wedding loft. So then
good.
dress right. But yeah, so yeah, it's good too because it helps me, know the dresses better and be able to help the brides a little bit better because I know what can be done on the alteration side of things to the dresses.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
But mom, of course, is the best. Yeah.
So you have a huge selection of dresses. So tell us a little bit about how it works, because you cater to weddings and proms and anything that would require a dress, a formal dress. Now, the dresses that you have there, are they to purchase or they're there to try on and then you order
Yeah,
to
so
size?
with bridal, the dresses that we have are samples. So we order in the sample, and then you come in, you try them on, and then once you say yes to the dress, we take your measurements, we find your size, and then we send that order to the designer, and we order in your dress. So, but then of course, as dresses become discontinued, we sell our samples off the rack, which is kind of a nice opportunity to get a nice little discount on your dress too. So you have the option as well of both of those. But in terms of ordering the dresses in, it takes about 6 months. So we recommend,
Wow.
it takes a while.
6
Well,
months.
I mean, a
because
lot
the
of
dress is made, correct?
Yeah,
you don't just
exactly.
order it and they pick one off the rack and send it to you.
No,
They
it's made
make
brand new,
Okay.
and a lot of the detail, it's a lot of work. A lot of the beading is all done by hand, and so there's a lot that goes into that. So we recommend getting your dress, 10 to 12 months in advance of your wedding, which a lot of people don't realize, But of course, people always ask me, oh my God, my wedding's in 4 months. Like, can I get a dress? Yes, because those are those sample dresses that are discontinued that you can buy off the rack.
Very nice.
So there's an option for
Exactly,
everyone.
because if there's one that you fit into and it just needs a slight alteration,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
probably are able to get that done in a time frame. But for me, I'm thinking 6 to 12 months ahead. So much can change as far as your size and your
And your
weight
taste.
gain
You
and
might
your
see something you
and-
love
or
better.
the style. I'm like,
In your mind, you might see something and then think, oh no, I love that in that picture. I'd love to have one like that.
Yeah, well, I always tell my brides, it's the same thing as when you get married. So once you say yes to the dress, you can't look at dresses anymore. It's the same as once you say yes to your fiance and that
You
ring.
don't-
You
oh.
can't keep going on dates anymore. You have to stop.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that. I like that.
Dating after
No,
you say
I
yes.
know it's
no.
hard. I know it's hard. You want to look around, but you can't.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
We should sew that on a pillow. That should be sitting on a pillow in the window
How
there.
romantic. Yeah.
But I suppose you find a lot of girls are very, very indecisive when they go in. It's a big moment. It's the one moment they hope. I mean, we know a lot of marriages are 2 and 3 times, but if for the one you hope to last the rest of your life,
Yes.
you go in looking for that perfect dress.
Well, I mean, it's a huge decision, but it's not that difficult once you start trying on the different styles of dresses. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? And once you've got it narrowed down to one style, let's say, for example, A-line or mermaid. You want a mermaid dress. There's only so many different types of mermaids. So once you start trying them on, it comes, it becomes a lot more clear which dress is really your dress. So.
Do you have any, I want to use the word training or anything that allows you to help somebody as far as what they should be wearing or the cut that suits them best? Like, because I could sit there and think, oh, I want a mermaid dress and that's all there is to it. I am 5 feet tall and, very busty, so that might not suit me. So, you have the information or the training to know that.
Exactly.
to guide
well,
them.
Shopping for a wedding dress or a prom dress is very different than shopping for what we call street clothes, right?
Okay.
So you have a bridal consultant with you. We book you in for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And so you come in with your own bridal party, whomever you want to bring. You have the entire second floor to yourself. So no one else is in there, and you have your own bridal consultant the entire time. So she's with you the entire time, and she's the knowledge expert, so she helps you find the perfect dress for your body. So you don't need to know anything about different styles and things like that. She helps you. So you basically, you come in and you start trying on different styles. Even if you come in saying, oh, I know I want this, I know I want a ball gown or what have you, try on a little bit of everything, and that's when it kind of becomes more clear. Yeah, exactly.
So what are you seeing for trends for 2016?
Yeah, 2016 is a really exciting year for bridal. A few things are going on. Like now I find there's certain silhouettes that are always going to be popular, such as the fit and flare and the strapless sweetheart and things like that. And lace, of course, it's always a trend. It's never going to go out of style. But for 2016, we're seeing something a little bit different. For example, you can have the 3D lace. So where the actual lace applique comes off your dress a little bit. So just some really fine details that are a little bit different. Of course, the back detail. We have a saying at the Wedding Loft, back is the new black.
I love backs.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm always looking at women on the stage or in, say, on the Oscars, their backs.
Yeah.
It's a very
all about the
attractive
back
part of a
detail.
woman.
But you have to keep in mind, too, I always tell my brides, never compromise the front of your dress for the back of your dress, because the pictures that are going to be on your mantle for the next 75 years are going to be in the front of your dress.
Even though for the hour at the church or wherever, everybody's looking at your back.
Yes. Yeah.
Or turning around, you can pose your pictures with looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, so
But
back
I know what
detail
you
is
mean.
very important now. And also we're seeing a lot of the V-necks, the illusion lace, and really soft, flowy tulle skirts this year. So yeah, so we're actually going to the National Bridal Market in Chicago in March.
You gonna take
this
me?
year. I'd love to.
Can
Come
we go?
Aren't you already there?
I was only there once. I want to go back. Oh no, it'll be fun. But yeah, so we'll be picking out the fall collections in March.
Way in advance of everything.
I know. Yeah. So we're actually our spring collections are already arriving.
Hey, Jennifer, I want to touch on colors. So, the old myth, you can't wear white if you've been married before,
not
and we
exist.
can't wear a little bit of pink. People are doing everything now, aren't they?
Ivory
us
is the most popular. So ivory is the new white. You really don't see white very often anymore. You're actually starting to see nudes and champagnes and golds even more than you would see white.
Gold?
So yeah, and so blush was in style for a little bit, but now we're seeing the gold tones even more so.
Interesting.
And the ivory over the nude or ivory over gold, which really a lot of time if you have the lace overlay, it makes the lace pop. So you can really, it's more of a focus on the details of the dress.
I suffer in ivory. Like I suffer in beige and ivory and those pale.
White is that for me. I don't.
Well, with your skin tones, definitely ivory.
I don't look fabulous in white.
But,
I really don't.
And I look better in white than ivory.
Really
so I have
nice.
to
But
stick
you've got
with
a nice dark skin too.
Yeah.
Not really.
Oh yeah.
No, okay.
I can pull off a lot of colors.
Yeah,
I
get
can
married
pull off
again,
a
she
lot
says
of
Billy just
colors.
doesn't know.
Yeah,
No.
I can swing it.
I know, you're so dark.
Yeah.
Lucky
The
you.
only thing that I seen on television, of course, with all the yes to the dress and the different colors, I had seen I don't know if it came out because of the movie. That you're always singing the song from.
Don't let it go.
Yes, but the blue,
won't
that
let me
pale,
sing.
pale blue,
Okay.
that crystal
the ice
blue,
blue.
the
Yeah.
ice blue
Yeah.
kind of color, and blue is not one of the colors I ever wear.
Well, oddly enough,
I never
a number of years ago,
gravitate.
I was engaged, and I was starting to look at dresses and all that, and ice blue was actually where I was going.
You're
like it.
kidding?
Yeah,
It's really
yeah,
attractive.
yeah.
See,
it
and I
really-
can picture you in it way more than me
Yeah,
ever
I really
wearing
because
blue.
I always knew I didn't want to wear a white dress because I just knew how.
White is hard to wear.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's 2016. Wear what you want.
There you
know?
go, Jennifer.
Right.
I had a bride get married this year on New Year's Eve, and she wore red.
What?
Just
Oh,
Exactly.
Wow.
Wear
no,
what you want,
That's just
you
it.
know?
The same with hair, the hair trends and stuff that I notice in the beauty industry. Like rules are meant to be broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like, what's in? And there are different trends that are happening at the time, but it's all about what looks good on you, on your face shape, your skin tone, and different things like that. So
And tell us about headpieces. Are they still in? Or
Yes.
appliques
Oh,
for the
yeah.
hair?
hats were in when we got married. Okay? Hats.
Mine was
Yeah,
a
you're not
little-
really seeing a lot of hats right now. One thing that's really in is the headpieces that go all the way around. So it's almost like a headband done over again.
Oh,
so,
you're kidding.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
see the brides.
I did that back in '88, didn't I?
It's very bohemian look.
Yes.
Yeah, which is really in style now.
I was a
too.
bridesmaid in Judy's and George's wedding.
Really?
Just a couple of years ago, yes. We had
And I wore
there's an older bridesmaid. Yes. She was just a babe.
I know.
No, but she was beautiful, and so was I.
Yes. But are you seeing a lot? Like, are there large wedding parties still? And
Oh my goodness! Well, I have a bride getting married this summer that has 13 bridesmaids.
13.
That's the big. I've seen one that large at the Rod. I've worked there, and I think it was 12, if I'm not mistaken, 10 or 12. So there was 2 rows, right? There was the tables had to sit one up
Yeah.
from it,
And what are
like
the
tiered.
trends for the bridesmaids?
Bridesmaids are keeping it really simple.
That's
So,
nice.
and you're seeing a lot of floor length dresses, whereas a few years ago, you know, in style was the
Cocktail.
the knee length with you'd see the cowboy boots and everything like that. But now it's a little bit more glamorous, but still a bohemian look and floor length, chiffon, flowy. Seeing a lot of lace in bridesmaids now, so they're kind of
And
coming.
everybody always says, "Well, I want to get a dress you can wear again," and nobody ever wears them again.
It's hard.
So that's why
It's
you're
hard.
doing this.
Unless you're invited to a lot of fancy dudes.
Yeah, but
That's
even
the
still,
thing.
yeah.
You know?
But one thing that's nice about the floor length dresses is that they can be cut short.
That's true.
So you,
Yes.
you can kind of switch it up a little bit.
Now there was a little trend a few years ago where everybody was either in this, all the bridesmaids were in the same color, but it was a different style dress.
Yeah,
and
and
then
there's-
there was different colors but the same style.
You're still seeing, the different styles in the same color, which is nice because it's really hard to find one dress that looks good on 5 different
That's what I
bodies.
find right there. That's key. I think that really, really, if I could go back, that would be the one thing I'd change was
Yeah.
I don't mind them being in the same color, but the cut of the dress has to suit
Be
their
flattering
body.
for
It has to
everybody.
be.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
because everybody has a different body type, right?
Even
No.
to do half and half, 6
Yeah.
that flatter and one,
No.
look.
Because even with the back then, I had all my bridesmaids wear their hair exactly the same because I kept thinking, and I thought it was great. And then I look at the pictures and go, wow, her hair really doesn't look that good, pulled right back off her face, like in her, because her ears. And I'm like, why did I do that?
Because of her ears.
Yeah.
I'm like, really, yeah, with the hair, it makes a difference too.
Yeah,
So.
but and another thing that you're seeing now too is that there's still a maid of honor in the bridesmaids, but the maid of honor and the bridesmaids are kind of all blending together. So there was a time when the maid of honor had a different color or a different style or something like that, and now they're kind of all melding together. But you're still also seeing one color in different tones or different hues in that color. Different colors of champagne or baby pinks and things like that. So, but again, it's 2016. Do what you want.
Okay, what about the mothers of the bride and groom?
Yeah.
Are they both coming to say, let's compliment each other? Like the.
Well, I mean, traditionally, the mother of the bride chooses her dress first, and then the
Okay.
mother of the groom chooses her dress to kind of complement
Good.
that. You wouldn't want to clash with the bridal party or
No.
anything like that. But you're seeing a lot of black in mother of the bride and groom this year.
That's
Yeah.
shocking. That
Wow.
does shock me.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
black.
I know.
I
Well,
do
it looks
too,
good on
but-
everyone too, right? And it is something that you can wear again, which is nice. And a lot of floor length too. Like mothers are, they want to be comfortable. They want something that's going to be flowy and simple and things
Interesting.
like that. So,
Wow.
It would be
Yeah.
nice if the men are in tuxes that are black. That would look
Yeah.
really sharp. When you have
Yes.
pictures that break it up and you have the mother of the bride in black and then the groomsmen and the other, men in black. It would be
Yes.
sharp.
Absolutely.
Any crushed velvet? I saw crushed velvet
crushed
on
velvet.
the Golden Globes
You
red
You know what?
carpet.
For
Oh my
prom,
goodness.
It was.
for prom, yes.
Really?
See, for prom, look at
I
that.
love crushed
Yeah,
velvet.
prom
Prom
is
in
crazy.
June when it's
Prom-
100 degrees out.
Prom dresses no longer look like prom dresses. They look like red carpet dresses,
They
which
do.
makes me want to wear all of them.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous. I try them on, but I don't leave the store.
I
with
totally
them.
understand.
You
Yeah.
must have so much fun in
I
there.
do. After hours, yes.
Shoes too? Do you do shoes?
No, we don't do shoes anymore.
But jewelry.
Yeah,
You
we
do
lots
have
of jewelry.
like various accessories.
Oh, we have everything. We have hundreds of veils. We have earrings, bracelets, headpieces, everything. Yeah.
So, if I'm a bride.
Okay.
I'm invited.
Congratulations.
And we're bridesmaids.
Yes.
Okay, let's pretend for a minute.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do, right? So I'm a bride, and I'm getting married. Next
Tomorrow.
Christmas.
Okay. Don't tell me
Valentine's
tomorrow.
Day.
Next Christmas.
Mail
So
order groom.
what's my first? So I come in for a try on with you.
Yeah, so I mean, the best thing to do is make your bridal appointment for your wedding dress once you have your date and your venue booked. So once it's set in stone, and then give us a call, and we'll book you in for an appointment. And like I said, so we book you for 2 hours, and you can bring whomever you like. So we recommend bringing just 1 or 2 people whose opinion
I was
really
gonna
matters.
say.
Yeah, when you start to have a large crowd with a lot of different opinions, it's a little bit harder to please everybody. But bring as many people as you like. Bring whomever you want.
Except the groom to be.
Yeah, well, some people do.
they?
Yeah.
I think it's bad luck, but I'm so superstitious.
I know. I love when they bring the dads because the dads cry,
Yes.
and then I cry.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you recommend doing the bridesmaids dresses at the same time that you're picking your wedding dress? Or
When
wait?
you're wedding dress shopping, it should be all about the bride. So after you say yes to the dress, though, then you can go downstairs and shop our selection of bridesmaids dresses, or you can wait because bridesmaids dresses don't take as long to come in as the wedding dress. So, but yeah, I wouldn't do it all at once just because it should be all about the bride. Yeah.
You're young and single, but you have a lovely man in your life, so you must be overwhelmed anticipating the day when you have to choose your own dress. It must be a little bit frightening.
I don't know. I think I'm going to have to take a year off work just because,
to get away from them.
Well, the thing is, like, remember I said once you say yes to the dress, you can't keep looking at them?
That's your
What
problem,
do you do, right? And every time we get a shipment, I find my dress. Because I'm trying them all on, of course. As they come in, I'm trying on the samples. Oh, I love this dress. I found my
You look
dress.
good in them all. I know
Sending
you
my
would.
boyfriend pictures of it. No pressure, right?
The poor fellow.
Poor guy. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
But yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
It will happen.
don't know.
You will. I'll have it all fall into place like every other bride does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't think I would change my dress.
Do you do the same as they do on the TV show, and you would ask them what their budget is as well?
Oh, yes. So when you make your appointment, we ask you a series of questions. So we ask
Okay.
you when your wedding date is, your approximate size, your budget for your dress, styles that you're looking for, styles that you really don't want to try on, things like that. Because before you come in for your appointment, we already have a set of dresses set aside for you to try
That's
on.
what
Because we have hundreds of dresses, and it's a lot to kind of go through them all yourself, especially when you're looking at them on the hanger. You don't know what they look like on a body, right?
No, exactly.
So we pull dresses before you come in,
Okay.
and then as you're trying them on, we take some away. We add some depending
That's right.
on what you're liking
That's
and not
clever.
liking. So.
But now most brides, and I remember at the time, like I said, when I was engaged, most brides try to lose a whole bunch of weight before the
Yes,
wedding.
of course. Every bride, whether they're a size 2 or a size 22,
So
like
what
every
do you
bride.
recommend to? Like,
It's-
what do you do with that if all of a sudden your bride comes in and she's lost 100 pounds?
Well, I've seen close to that, but we do have our own seamstress on hand, so in store. It's actually Mom Peggy Aubey that does it, and she's amazing. She used to make wedding dresses from scratch. You could bring her a photo and say, "Can you make this?" and she would make it for you. So she's a really good seamstress to have, and every bride is trying to lose weight. They're crazy because you know everyone looks beautiful.
The man
when
loves
they're-
them for who they are.
I
We only have a
know,
big-
Exactly.
have
They
time
asked
left, don't
you to
we?
marry them before
Right?
that. Exactly.
But you want,
That's
it's your
just
big
it.
day and you want to look your best, which is understandable. But we recommend ordering the dress that you're, ordering the size that you are at when you order. So a lot of brides are like, oh, I'm going to order a size smaller or 2 sizes smaller to motivate me. Don't
ever.
stress yourself out, right? Because it can always
Exactly.
be taken in.
Sure.
Okay.
Can't be let out, right? So yeah.
So we just want to thank you for joining us.
Oh,
we
thank you
want
so
to
much.
also let our viewers know where exactly the wedding loft is located. It's here in Miramichi.
Yeah, we're downtown
on the
Newcastle.
square, downtown
Yeah.
Newcastle on the square.
On the square.
Okay, we've got more show coming up. We've got Amy
you.
Gregan, who
Thank
is
you.
going to be joining us next, and so we'll be back with more Have a
That
Chat.
was awesome,
Don't go
Jennifer.
anywhere. Hi, welcome back to Have a Chat. Joining us now, we have our next guest, who is Amy Gregan. Thank you, Amy, for joining us. You are the owner and operator of DNA Gregan Decorating Company.
Thank you for having
Welcome, Amy.
Yes, you're going to talk a little bit about your company and the fact that you're putting on a bridal show coming up this very weekend.
Yes, so I started my company in 2014. I've been decorating since I had my own wedding in 2006. I had done my own wedding, made all the plans. I had a decorator come in and do mine, but I helped her out a lot, so it really got me on the edge of wanting to do decorating.
Exciting.
Because I liked what she was doing, and I had fun helping her plan it. So I did it on and off since 2006, just for friends and family and little events here and little events there, because I was too, didn't know if I wanted to take it to the next level to have my own business. So finally in 2014, my husband said, "You're doing it enough. You may as well
Go for it."
have a business, do it." I'm like, I know, but there's so much. He's like, "I'm here, I'll help you." And he's a self-employed floor installer. He's been for the last 15 years, so he knows what it's like to have his own business and knows what it's right. So he said, go ahead, do it, let's do it. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
No.
And
So
it has been working.
It has been working. So for me to start to advertise and stuff, I thought, let's have a bridal show. Let me see if I can get some people on board to take part, and that would be a good way for me to come out
Perfect.
with my business. So last year, in January of 2015, we held my first annual bridal show.
It was packed.
And it was
I
packed.
remember you telling
We
me.
had 28 vendors, and,
It was a
and
big crowd.
over 250 people came through the door.
Wow.
And out of those 250 people, there was 77 of just brides that registered.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a great, it was a very good turnout.
Big
so,
bang.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I thought, okay,
exactly.
perfect, that worked. So since then, I did a few events, a few weddings. I did for the My Pie.
Yes.
This past year. So it's been, it's been busy. It's had its perks, but the bridal show really it's really a full year of planning. So it takes a lot to do the bridal show.
Sure.
So it's my main event, and
beautifully done decor.
Yes.
You do such a great job decorating.
well, and you MC it, and it's perfect.
Yeah, well, I emceed last year, and they've asked me to MC it again, and so
we want to mention that the Wedding Loft is one of your sponsors.
Yes, the Wedding Loft is our sponsor. They do the fashion show and provide all the beautiful wedding gowns. So that's a great part for them. They also have a prize that they donate every year.
Beautiful prize,
Yes.
Audrey. Tell them about the prize. The viewers.
$2,000 gift card for a brand new wedding dress of your choice is going to be given away at the
Show.
fashion show
Yep.
part of
Yep.
the day.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's amazing. So
Very
any of you
exciting.
brides that are out there, I think you should get registered if you're not already.
Well,
Is there
when
still
they come in the door, they register at the
Okay.
door.
Oh,
And
they
we
do?
Yeah,
Okay.
and their name automatically goes in for the draws because we have draws all throughout the day.
Okay.
And I will have a grand prize at the end as well, which is
a
not-
decorating grand prize?
Well, it's decorating, and some of my sponsors usually take part, so we try to.
Okay, so there's a little bit of
There's a little
everything.
bit of everything in it, so
Right.
it's not
surprise.
finalized yet. So
No.
it'll be a surprise that day. But the bride does have to be there to win the prize. That's
To win
the
the
only thing,
$2,000.
and it has to be a bride. Like we don't like. It's hard to say. Okay, well. My aunt came for me. Can she collect my prize? Well, no, because we want the brides there. We want them to see
Exactly.
what we have to offer, and we want them to get the whole day. Because it's a
Do you have to have your wedding date set?
no, you don't have to
No?
have it set. We
Okay.
ask for a date just so that
Right.
we can get an idea, just for for the wedding loft to see when they're going to be getting
purposes,
calls
yeah.
to book.
Yeah.
For me when I'm going to, I don't want to get double booked and all that stuff.
You can't run down there. You should
This
at
is
least
your
be
year.
engaged.
I feel this is your year. I have a feeling
might make an
this is your
exception for you.
year. And we want to be
We could order.
bridesmaids.
Yes,
Like
we're
in the
gonna be
movie.
right. That's
Well,
right.
that's funny
We're going to
because-
order the groom. We'll order him. We'll have him for
That's
Valentine's Day.
perfect.
Judy keeps telling me that it's 2016 is the year I'm going to meet him.
Or at least meet him, and then you can marry him like whenever you want. But
What's
at
that
least
show that Married at First Sight?
That's right.
Yes,
Yes, there.
there.
that's
all
what
you
we're
have.
putting
We
her
should do
on.
that.
We'll
We should do
sign
that.
her up.
You know, the wonderful thing is that we talk so much about the fact that I'm single on the show.
Sometimes you're lucky to be single.
I know, I don't mind it
it.
at all.
Oh, yes.
I don't mind it at all.
I'm
I
gonna-
just wish
yeah.
we
All married
There
women
are
at
some
some
pluses.
point wish they were
Yeah,
single.
no, I don't
Yeah.
mind it at all. It's
We
it's
love
not
our
bad.
husbands, but there are times when
Yes.
you think,
I just love the fact that we're always talking about the fact that I don't have
but this is your year. I have an inkling.
Well, come to the show. Some men do tend to come with their fiancés. You just never know.
Or men looking
that's
for
just-
Are men
fiancés.
looking
All
for
of,
fiancés?
all of a sudden, Amy's show is the big new singles hangout.
Exactly. That's
Thank
just
you.
it. All these women looking to get married.
What
maybe.
I love is the
Awesome.
look at your show on the
Yeah.
faces of the brides
Oh, yeah.
that are saying, this is going to be me walking down the aisle with a dress something like this. And they're all in awe. They're so intrigued. And the dresses are phenomenal.
I love weddings. I do. I love
know.
weddings.
Me too, I
They're
do too.
beautiful.
When it comes to the decorating part of it, now let's talk a little bit
Yes,
more about
about
your
your
business
show.
itself. Weddings being a big part of it, of course. Now, do you see trends happening and stuff like that as far as colors and design and what it is that they're asking
Yes.
for?
Now everybody is going more neutral.
They are.
Like they want more of the ivories and the pale pinks and the whites.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Rustic is really big last year. And
Plaid?
Terracotta?
Like plaid
No,
with
rustic.
it?
I mean, like
Terracotta.
like mason jars
Jars
for
and-
centerpieces,
okay.
like pieces of wood,
Burlap
burlap,
and-
all
and-
that stuff. That's a big.
Really?
Still-
I know, we're both like,
Now that was a
Yeah.
Christmas theme too. Remember
Yeah.
Angie
Yeah,
said?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angie's wreath was.
No, I know what you meant by rustic.
right.
I'm thinking terracotta tablecloths and things like that.
Yeah,
They're
it-
more rustic greens.
Greens, yep. Anything. It's more neutral. Like you're getting out of the bright pinks and the purples and the teals and stuff. A few beach themed ones are coming
Oh, that'd
back
be
for
nice.
summertime. Those are nice, but
Yeah.
they're still using pale colors. You're not getting that big wow. And a lot of black and white too.
I love black
A
and
lot
white.
of black.
There's one thing,
Colors.
because we catered, of course, with the restaurant, and friends have gotten married over the years, and I've always said, do yourself a favor and hire a decorator.
Yeah.
Because because I've always had friends say, oh, well, we'll get the whole family there, and I thought,
Ugh.
you know what,
Big
you
job.
have
It's a
so
lot of
much
work.
to do that day.
Big job.
Treat yourself and get a
Yeah.
decorator.
Yes.
Let you handle all of that
Yeah.
stress
No.
and
It's like getting
you
a
know,
dog and then get
exactly.
yourself a trainer. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, you
That's
can
right.
bake a cake too, but who wants to do
Well,
the
you
wedding
know, but
cake? It's
really,
a lot of
yeah,
work.
That was always that was always my biggest recommendation was hire a decorator because there's so much you have to do over those last few days before the wedding.
Yeah.
You know, and you want to be able to spend the time with your friends and family, not hanging, tulle.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
You don't end up really saving anything by doing it yourself because you have added stress and really it's added expense because you don't know exactly what you're getting.
Trial and error. You're thinking one thing
How
will
much
work.
stuff do you need to buy to actually do
exactly.
it? Because I see from being at the Rod working, I've seen so many different weddings and what a lot of them are doing now, and they're draping the tulle along the ceiling with
Ceilings
lights and
are
different
big.
something. They are, right?
Ceilings
It's not
are
just
big.
the table anymore.
No, that's right.
They're going right
It's
to
less,
the,
people will spend less on their table settings and more to have a
the-
ceiling.
yeah.
And ceiling is a lot of work.
I know. And
Yeah,
you would
sure.
know.
It is
No,
a lot
it
of
is.
work.
Wow.
The chandeliers, I noticed that they're doing like the faux chandeliers with the glass.
It's attractive.
They are
Love that.
gorgeous. I love them, but I'm like looking up, just like the putting it together and tearing it down must be just exhausting.
So I planned my getting my wedding dress there on the last segment.
Okay,
So now,
so now,
so now I planned getting my wedding dress.
now
So-
we're gonna decorate.
Yeah, so now I'm hiring you. How much time do we spend together? Like, how much input do I have?
You have all the input that you want. You basically tell me what you want and I'll do it.
Okay.
You can do the same thing, like you could give me a budget and I can work with the budget on the understanding that your budget only goes to what?
Yeah.
That's a big thing I find with brides. Like they give you a budget and then they're like, but I want this, this, and this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, half of what you just mentioned is in your budget.
Right.
Or I can do it this way, which is not exactly what you just showed me, but more in your budget. So that's what happens. I would initially meet with you for one time first, and that I usually do first consultation is free. So we would meet, and I would just get an idea from you of what you're looking for, make sure that I can accommodate everything that you want. I'd like to have the venue already known. That way I can tell you what I can do with that
Right.
venue.
That
Because
room.
there's certain spots that
That's
I'm allowed
right.
to do certain things at. Like
Right.
certain
Yeah.
venues
You have limitations to
I can't
some.
put anything on the walls. Or,
Right.
you know, certain things I can't do the ceilings because they're like way too high.
And
Or
the beach is simple, but then you have to have your decor that suits the look for them when they walk down
exactly.
the beach.
Yeah, so we would have an initial consultation, and then after that, we would probably meet another two to three times to get everything down. Once we meet the second time, then that's when we would basically go over like a contract, like this is what you want, this is what I'm going to do for you at this price.
Okay.
And I always put in 5 right. Should you change anything, price is subject to change,
of
just
course.
because I want to make sure the lines are all open and that you know
Yeah.
exactly what you're getting for your
everybody's
money.
comfortable.
You know?
Is
So-
there a time frame that's suitable? You can't call her tomorrow.
well,
Well, my wedding's next Christmas, remember?
okay,
I have
next
my
Christmas.
dress, too.
Okay. Next Christmas, I don't think I'm booked for next Christmas.
See, we're working it all out on the
My
show.
kids might have an issue with next Christmas, but other than that,
We'll work around it.
We'll work around it. But yeah, no, usually probably like 3 months before.
Okay.
You know, 6 months good because it gives us a lot of time to fish around if there's something that you want, and I'm like, okay, well let's
Yeah,
look
if you
into.
don't
If you
have
say,
that
can you look into
particular-
this, look into this, look into these, and I can go on and I can research some different styles to give you some different ideas.
You're a busy girl. You have 2 children, don't you?
I do,
And
yeah.
How old are they?
8 and 5.
So they're in
Yeah.
school, and do you work otherwise too? Do you
Yeah,
have another
I'm
job?
I'm the receptionist at Glamour Salon.
Okay, so you've got a lot on your plate.
Yes.
And your husband is happy, so you give no
Yeah.
regrets about him saying jump into this project because you're well underway
No,
now.
because every time he says, "Well, you're not home very much," I'm like, "Ah."
No, exactly.
You pushed me to do this. This is what it takes. It takes me to, if I'm working 9 to 5 and then I have to go meet a bride at 6 o'clock, well, I have
So
to go
be
meet
it.
a bride at 6 o'clock. But, and then we've got the kids that are going to dance
Oh,
and hockey.
Amy.
Keeping them
So
all involved
We're trying,
in-
yeah, so we lead a busy life.
But you're working together, so he will do
Yeah.
some flooring for some events. Will he like a makeshift stage or run? Does he do any of that for you?
Actually, for the bridal show, I needed a runway. So he built me it's 4 feet wide by like 33 feet long. It's like 4 pieces.
Which you made
So-
me walk on last year too.
I did, yeah. You'll do it again this year too.
FYI.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
So it will be. So he built that and carpeted it. Plus, we needed hangers for all the dresses, and he made all those. So he's very hands-on. So he does all my
Wonderful.
carpentry, all the stuff I need built.
You're a team.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
pretty
lugs it all
amazing.
there for me and sets it all up.
yeah. See,
And
that's
he
the biggest
tears it all
amazing.
at the bridal show. Like he'll sit at my table while I'm doing my thing and answer any questions that brides may have if I'm not there.
So when you're there, that's perfect exposure for your business. And then
It
you
is, yeah.
mentioned all the other vendors, so it's a whole
Yes, we have 28 vendors again
28?
this year.
incredible show.
Yeah, 29 counting myself, but yeah, so it's a full show. I had to turn away vendors again because of lack of space. Like,
Yes.
just it's so hard because I had to make sure we have enough to seat everybody again this year, because last year I had
was-
set up for like 150, anticipating, you know, that would be great if I got that. And so my husband was dragging out chairs, more chairs that I hadn't prepared for. So this year we're setting up for every chair we got in the building. So we have 28 vendors.
Quite a thing.
Yeah, we have great
It
sponsors,
is.
like the Wedding Loft's a great sponsor. Glamour Salon does all the hair for the models. Country Floral does, she gives me some decorations that I need, plus she does all the flowers that we use for the fashion show. This year we're donating a portion of the proceeds to the Miramichi Emergency Center for Women.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Wonderful idea.
I like to give back to the community. It makes
I know you do.
because the community are giving by taking part into the show,
Exactly.
and the brides are coming. So it's a cycle that
Give and take.
It's good. It's a good cycle. So and they're going to be there to help out if I need them, like for whatever. So it's great. Yeah.
No, and the venue is great too.
Riverside are great.
Entertainment. They're
Riverside
beautiful down
Entertainment
there.
are great. They're like easy to deal with. They have a great space down there.
Wide open space.
It's wide open. And Tracy there, goes above and beyond anything that I need. Like this week, she said it's after Tuesday. It's all yours. You come and go as you please.
How long would it take you to decorate a wedding?
A wedding? It depends on the amount of people, like how big it is. Like, because if I'm doing chair covers and tables, so if it's a wedding for 250 people, I like to go in the day before the wedding, so that way the day of the wedding, if there's any last minute like brides go crazy and don't like something, I got four. That's gonna be you. I can see it.
Funny enough,
That's a whole other show. That's a
funny
real
enough,
show.
The last when I was planning my last wedding, which was it's got to be 10 years ago now, but anyway, when I was planning the wedding, I said to myself, and I live that every day. Whatever goes wrong that day goes wrong.
It is.
As long as I get married, then that's all that matters.
That's right.
If the cake falls on the floor, it does. So
When I got married in 2006, there was a couple things the day before the wedding, and I had mini meltdowns, and my decorator then told me, don't sweat the small stuff. She took care. She said it'll all, and it did. And with the little issues, it all came.
all
And
just works
That's just it.
brides just need to relax, leave it in the hands of the people they hired to do it.
And worry about the guy showing up.
Yes,
Yes.
that one.
That
All
one,
she
that's
got to do
a-
is look good
yeah,
in the dress.
exactly.
And that's all the bride should have to worry
I
about.
know, because I've
Yeah.
seen so many other little different things happen and stuff like that. All of a sudden, where things are about to start, and there's the cake, it's leaning, and everybody's like, "Oh my man," But what can you do? What can you do, right? At the end of the day, you're going to marry the love of your life.
That's right.
And as long as he shows up,
That's right. We're all good.
Make sure he's there.
No, exactly.
Any other tips for these wannabe brides that are going to come out or for decorating? Any other tips thinking this far ahead? So if I want to get married next year, again, when should I be calling you?
If you want to get married next year, I would
say December.
Like next December. So I would start, once you have your venue, make contact.
Oh.
Once you have your venue, just make contact to say, because a lot of the time they want to price around, they want to see
And
what other
book you,
people
get
got
you
and
booked.
book
Yeah.
me. So
Even if you haven't met her, give her the date,
give me a call,
book it, so
see
that
what
she
my
can
schedule
have that
is like,
appointment
just
set.
to make sure, because you just never know what comes
Yeah,
up.
she
I
might
might
have
say,
something.
oh, just call me 6 months before and be fine, but
Someone
legit,
else could have booked
I could
that
hang
same
up the
date.
phone and someone calls the very.
You're going to get busier and busier, too, with
I
this
hope to,
newfound
yeah.
business.
Yeah.
For sure.
No,
I get
that's
booked
just it.
sometimes to MC an event a year ahead. I'm thinking,
Yes.
well, what if I'm not even alive? I won't. I guess I just won't be
my
there.
God.
In other words, book
for
me,
goodness
and if, seriously, a year ahead.
What if a bride wants something like now, because you've probably collected things over this past little while with starting your business with the different things you have to decorate. Now say Veronique, not me, Veronique wants something that you don't already have in your collection.
Yep.
So you have to go out and find this and purchase this and add it to your collection. Is that what you do?
That's what I would do. Yep.
Right.
If it's a big enough demand for it, and I know it's something that's coming into style that I'm going to use
Often.
or
Okay.
at least use it enough to get the money back out of it till it's
Right.
used, then I will buy it. If it's something that I don't think I will use, I will look to the other decorating companies to see if they have it and rent it from them.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's perfect.
Because if I don't think I'm ever going to use it again, or if I don't
That's
think it's
just
going to
it.
be a thing, there's not much
Exactly.
sense in me having the expense to purchase it. So I would just
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would just rent it or try to find
Okay.
the best thing I can.
You're going to be a happening woman with that business. I can tell you already are.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us, Amy.
for
It
having
was
me.
great to
I'll
find
call
out
you.
all of it.
I'll give you my number.
Thank you.
I'll see you
Definitely,
Sunday.
I'll see you
definitely.
Sunday.
Again, and we also want to thank you to Jennifer Aubey, who was our guest earlier from the Wedding Loft. You're going to want to check them out this weekend because they're having a big bridal show at the Riverside
1
Entertainment
o'clock?
here.
1 o'clock.
1
1
o'clock
o'clock.
and it all begins.
Yep.
Most definitely. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. We're on YouTube now as well, our Have a Chat show, and along with our Have a Chat page on Facebook.
Yes.
We want to hear. Thanks for joining us.
Have
We'll
a
see
great
you
week.
again next week. That's it for Have a Chat.